Next topic in unit 3 is about basics of Arduino programming, basic code related to Arduino programming, input output functions. These are two types. We will see digital in this session and then variables. So, first introduction to Arduino programming. So, these are the references which you have documentation. For every method you have the syntax, pin description, how to use it, the basic code, everything is present in this documentation. You can learn in depth using these links. First, Arduino programming. So, Arduino programming is built upon C and C++ languages. So, it is tailored to a specific features and capabilities of Arduino microcontroller board. It involves writing the code and controlling the behavior of Arduino board. So, for basic code, these are the two common methods that you are going to use for writing the program. So, Arduino board sketch typically consists of two main methods. Sketch is the place where you are going to write the code in the Arduino. After installation, when you open we call it as Arduino sketch. In that you are going to write the program. So, there the main methods are setup and loop. So, setup means it is executed once when the board is started, or if you are resetting, again the setup program starts, but it executes only once. So, it is used for initializing variables, any configuration settings you can write in this method, and setting up any hardware. If you are setting up any hardware or you are connecting any LED or motor or potentiometer to which pin, so you can configure the pin number here, and what are the variables that you are writing in the code, you can be initialized in this method. So, it will execute only once. That is important about setup method. Next, loop method, it is executed repeatedly after the setup method completes. So, it contains the main logic of the program and it runs indefinitely until you turn off the board. This loop method will run repeatedly. So, these are the two main methods in the Arduino sketch. So, next, Arduino function libraries. So, Arduino input output functions. Among input output functions, digital input functions, analog input functions are there, and these are the extra ones like how to use the time, random number and the serial communication. So, first we will see digital input output functions. So, these are used to configure the pins. You can configure it either as input or output. You can enable or disable pins. So, the logically we can say whether the pin is high or whether the pin is low. So, the input values are readable ones, output values are writable. So, to configure these digital pins as input or output and read or write or load the digital values, you have three main methods for this digital functions to configure. In order to configure them as a digital pins, you have three methods like pin mode, digital write, digital read. So, we will see what is the syntax, description and functionality of each method. First one is pin mode. So, the description of pin mode method is it configures the specific pin. So, if you say pin 3, comma what is the mode. So, to that pin 3, if whatever you are connecting like sensor, it can be a LED or any temperature sensor like that. So, to which pin you are configuring, that particular one is the description of pin mode method. So, configure the specific pin to behavior as an input or an output. So, syntax to write pin mode is pin mode, in the bracket you are going to write pin number and then mode. Parameters are pin here, Arduino digital input pin number, that means digital pin 0 to 14, any pin you can write. Mode means whether you want it as an input or an output sensor. Next, it returns nothing. The value returned by this method is nothing. Example like this, void setup. In that setup, you are writing pin mode 13, comma output. That means you are setting up the digital pin 13 to output. So, the number you are going to write and the mode here. Whether it is an output, you are configuring or input. Next, digital write. Digital write is description, write a high or a low value to the digital pin. So, if this pin has been configured as an output with pin mode, its voltage will be set to the corresponding value, like depending upon the sensor you can use either 3.3 volts or 5 volts. For high, if you say 0 ground level to low, okay, high means 0 volts to low. If the pin is configured as input, so then you are using digital write, which will enable either high, disable means low. Every time when you say enable, it means high in the digital form. Next, disable means low in the input pull up of input pin. So, if you write one program, you will get to know syntax, digital write, this is the method, syntax, pin, value. You are going to write the pin and then what is the value. Parameters are pin, pin means the Arduino pin number 0 to 14, value whether it is high or low, enabling or disabling. So, this is one of the example of LED blinking. This is the Arduino board. When you install that, this is called as the sketch area, Arduino sketch area, the place where you are going to write the code. So, these are the basic codes which will be automatically you will get void setup and void loop. Inside these methods, you are going to write the code according to what is the program that you are writing for. So, Arduino IDE features and blink example. So, this is from the Arduino sketch. What are these symbols? This is separately given in another slide. Like this symbol represents verifying, that means checking the errors in the code, and this symbol represents uploading. After completion, if there are no errors in the code or the program, then send your code to the Arduino board. Next, this symbol represents creating a new code window. This symbol opens a previously or saved sketch. Already you have written some program, you want to refer that, then you can click on this icon, and this is for saving your sketch. So, this is taken from the Arduino sketch. Next is writing and uploading your first sketch. For some blinking LED, for blinking LED you have written some code here. This will be again explained in detail. Now, how after writing the code, how you are going to save it. These are the steps here. Arduino file you are taking from file menu, examples, basic examples like how the LED will be on or off. Basic examples are already there in it. You can use the basic examples and try it. After getting it, you can write your own code. Like basic, these are the different number of codes. You are taking the blink code. That means this code consists of how the LED will be on and off using the methods like digital write. Next is writing and uploading your first sketch, that is blinking LED. After uploading everything, if there are no errors in the program, then you will say compile. Then you are going to get a window down of the sketch where it will, if there is any errors, it will be showing there, otherwise it will say successfully uploaded. And then writing and uploading code your first sketch. So, here this is the inbuilt LED which is already there in Arduino board. If you are not connecting anything, just you are running the basic program which is already available in the documentation. You just open it, compile it and run it, and the LED will, here the LED will glow. So, this is the basic program to start up. If you are well used to it, then you can write the other programs. So, this is the code to make the digital pin 13 output and toggle the LED to high or low. So, like this you are having two main methods, as said, void setup, void loop. These are the two main methods. In void setup, you are going to configure the pins. Configuration of pin can be done using the method pin mode. So, pin mode 13 number you are setting up it to output. And next, void loop. In void loop you will be having the main logic. So, digital write the same pin 13 pin where you have set it as output, that we are saying it as high. The syntax of digital write we have seen, you should write pin number and what is the value here. We are setting it to high. High means the LED will glow, and this delay 1000. So, for how much time you want the LED to be glow, that the delay time. And then digital write 13 low. So, this is disabling. High means enabling the pin, that is it will glow. Low means disabling the pin. Set the digital pin 13 to off. So, digital write 13 comma low means setting it to disabling, off. On means high. And if you want after some time waiting, again you want the LED to glow, you can use here delay function. First you don't use it and see what is the output, and then put the delay method. What will happen, you can see it when you are connecting. It will take some time to glow, that means high and off the LED depending upon this delay. If you are not using this delay continuously, it will be glowing and offing, glowing and offing. If you use it, you can see for some particular time it will wait. So you can try it out in your system. Next method is digital write. Digital write description, here it reads the values from the specified digital pin either high or low. Syntax is digital write, what is the pin number from which you want to read the data, and the parameters are pin, Arduino pin number, whatever the pin you want to make it as an input. So this is the setting a pin as an input and using digital read. So digital read means you are taking some value for that pin number. So constant int button pin is equal to 2. So here you are using separately externally button, switch button you are using. So for that you are setting it up, void setup pin mode button pin comma input. Previously here pin mode directly you set 13. That means from the digital pins you have selected 13 as input or output. But here with the value, that means what is the action that you are applying on the power button, in that way the LED will be glowed. So that is why in order to do that we are using a separate button. So pin mode button comma input. So whether you are pressing it or whether you are releasing the button, based on that action the LED will glow on or off. So serial begin 9600, it is the initial value, that means it is default value that is being used. Serial begin we will see later. Next, void loop int button state is equal to digital read button pin. So here button pin, whether it is pressed or released, that is the value it is going to take, and it will read and set up in the variable called as button state. So depending upon that serial.println. Serial.println means that is the output window where you are going to get the value. What is that value to be printed on the output window? High or low? High or low you can show as 0 or 1. If the LED is on, then you will be getting output as 1 1 1. If the LED is off, then you will be getting the value as 0 0 0. So in order to show that on the output window, we are using serial.println button state based on the button state. Next, delay. So delay, here also you can use delay. For some time you can wait, you can say the LED is on or off. So the first, what are the program we have seen here, the output will be appearing like this. In the digital output 0 0 0 1 1 1. 0 means the state of the LED is low. So this is the push button that we are using. Upon the motion of this, the LED will act. That means if you press it, the LED will glow, and then you will be getting the output as 1 1 1. If you release the button, the LED will be off and you will be getting output as 0 0 0. So high and low you are representing in this form. So for this program, the connection will be like this, and the output will be you will be appearing output in the output window of Arduino Sketch. Next topic is variables. Same thing, you can assign some variables and use it. Variable declaration. To use a variable you need to declare a variable. So how you are going to declare? Int is the type of the variable you are declaring, and my number, any name you can give for the variable, and you can assign values to the variables like my number is equal to 10. So 10 value you are assigning to the variable my number. You can do these two in one step only, that is assigning and declaring. Declaring the variable can be done in one step, like int my number is equal to 10, that is assigning and declaring. So these are the basic things you are already aware of, but as we are having the topic, just we will see, brush up the things. Variable types, like you have int, float, char, boolean variables, and using the variables like this, int a is equal to 5, b is equal to 3, that means integer values you are adding 5 plus 3, so you can write it as a plus b. So all these you can also use in the Arduino Sketch. That is why we are learning again these variables, what is the type of the variables. So using that variables, when you write a program, write a Arduino Sketch that demonstrate the use of variable, same blinking of the LED, same program we are writing, but there we have used the automatic methods like digital write, digital read. But here we are using variables, that is the only difference, but the output is same whether the LED is on or off. So here int LED pin is equal to 13, that means 13th pin you are defining the pin number for the LED. Next, int interval is equal to 500. So interval for the first blink, first time it is blinking on, and after some time it is waiting for some time, and second time when it should blink. So these are the values we are giving. So the timeline, the delay which we have used in the previous sketch, here we are using with the help of variables. Next, void setup. So these methods will be same. Void setup, in void setup you are going to configure the pin number. So pin mode, LED pin comma output, you are setting up some LED pin number to output. And next, void loop. In void loop you are writing digital write. In digital write you are saying LED pin, to which pin you have set as output, you are saying it as high. That means it will turn on the LED. Delay interval, the interval 1, interval 2 we are not directly giving here. If you observe in the previous slides, same program delay we have given here directly 1000 or 5500 like that, but here we are taking the output from the variable interval 1, interval 2. So interval 1, interval 2 values are being initialized before the void setup. So 500, 1000 will be taken as the input here, delay 500, wait for some time, and then again the LED will be on. Digital write, LED pin low, low means off, high means on. Same program, lighting on the LED or offing the LED, but with the help of the variables. Thank you.